all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees and Shubh Dashera to all of you. This is Premanandini Devidasi from Ashburn, Virginia.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept
Hare
my
Krishna,
humble
Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunjana Sadas from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanu Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, and wishing everyone a happy Dasara.
Happy Dasara. Okay, so, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, we are very fortunate we have His Grace Raghunandan Das Prabhu from Virginia. And Prabhuji is going to enlighten us from Canto 8, Chapter 5, verse 24 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please take over the call when you're ready.
Hare Krishna, can you please give me the co-host?
The co-host, yes, Prabhuji.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत्य देशतारिणे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय So we are reading from Canto 8, Chapter 5, and today's verse is 24. So if we just look back at verse 23, there are some interesting things that happened there. Now is the time to invoke the mode of goodness of the living entities who have accepted material bodies. The mode of goodness is meant to establish the Supreme Lord's rule, which will maintain the existence of the creation. Therefore, this is the opportune moment to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because he is naturally very kind and dear to the demigods, he will certainly bestow good fortune upon us. So that's a very important principle to keep in mind. That's why I wanted to read that before we are going to proceed with verse 24 that we are going to cover today. Shri Sukha Uvacha Ityabhashya Suran Veda Sahadevairarindama Ajitasya Padam Saksha Jagama Tamasa Param. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shri Sukadeva Goswami said, Iti, thus, Abhashya, talking, Suran, unto the demigods, Vedaha, Lord Brahma, who is the head of this universe and who gives everyone good sense in Vedic knowledge, Saha, with, Devaihi, the demigods, Arindama, O Maharaj Parikshit, subduer of all kinds of enemies, such as the senses, Ajitasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Padam, to the place, Sakshat, directly, Jagama, went, Tamasaha, the world of darkness, Param, transcendental to or beyond. Translation. O Maharaj Parikshit, subduer of all enemies, after Lord Brahma finished speaking to the demigods, he took them with him to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is beyond this material world. The Lord's abode is on an island called Shvetadvipa, which is situated in the ocean of milk. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit is addressed here as Arindama, subduer of all enemies. Not only do we have enemies outside of our bodies, but within our bodies there are many enemies, such as lusty desires, anger, and greed. Maharaj Parikshit is specifically addressed as Arindama because in his political life, he was able to subdue all kinds of enemies. And even though he was a young king, as soon as he heard that he was going to die within 7 days, he immediately left his kingdom. He did not follow the dictates of enemies within his body, such as lust, greed, and anger. He was not at all angry with the Muni's son who had cursed him. Rather, he accepted the curse and prepared for his death in the association of Sukadev Goswami. Death is inevitable. No one can surpass the force of death. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit, while fully alive, wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. He is consequently addressed here as Arindama. Another word, Surapriya, is also significant. Although Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is equal toward everyone, he is especially inclined toward his devotees. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. The devotees are all demigods. There are two kinds of men within this world. One is called the Deva and the other is called the Asura. The Padma Purana states, द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैवासुर एव च विष्णुभक्तस्मृतो दैव आसुरस्तद् viparyahah. Anyone who is a devotee of Lord Krishna is called a Deva. And others, even though they may be devotees of demigods, are called asuras. Ravana, for example, was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but he is described as an asura. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu is described as a great devotee of Lord Brahma, yet he was also an asura. Therefore, only the devotee of Lord Vishnu is called Sura, not Asura. Lord Krishna is very much pleased with his devotees, even if they are not on the topmost stage of devotional service. Even on the lower stages of devotional service, one is transcendental. And if one continues with devotional life, he continues to be a Deva or Sura. If one continues in this way, Krishna will always be pleased with him and will give him all instructions so that he may very easily return home back to Godhead. Concerning Ajitasya Padam, the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the milk ocean of this material world, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Padam Shiro Dadista Dvipam Tamasa Prakrite Param. The island known as Shvetadvip, which is in the ocean of milk, is transcendental. It has nothing to do with this material world. A city government may have a rest house where the governor and important government officers stay. Such a rest house is not an ordinary house. Similarly, although Shvetadvip, which is in the ocean of milk, is in this material world, it is Param Padam, transcendental. Multiple things are being referred to here. So let's break it down. Param, because the word comes right. Padam Sakshat Jagama Tamasa Param. Param is translated as transcendental too, or beyond. Beyond what? Beyond this material world. That is what it means. Transcendental means transcendental to this material world. What does this mean? Above and beyond the material world. That's what it means. What are the symptoms of material world? Dukhalayam. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dukhalayam, a place of misery and suffering. Not one misery, not one suffering. Miseries and sufferings, plural, unlimited. That is the nature of this material world, Dukhalayam. And the other characteristic is Ashashvatam. Nothing is permanent. We might work hard and earn wealth. We might work hard and study and get ourselves educated. All those things are not permanent. It just goes away. Over a period of time, it is gone. That is the nature of this material world. Dukalayam ashashvatam. There are different kinds of sufferings, different problems. What are the four main problems that Krishna talks about in Bhagavad Gita? birth, death, old age, and disease. Any living being that is in this material world is afflicted with these four problems of life. Krishna calls it the four main problems of life. Okay, so anything that is above and beyond this material world, it's called param, transcendental. So that thing we have to like keep it uh, memorized in our mind. Param. Okay, so now the demigods are in bigger problem, and they do not know what to do. So immediately they go to their big boss. Their big boss is Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is also not able to solve the problem. So he is saying, we will go to Shvetpadip, and there is a ocean of milk, and in the center of the ocean of milk resides the Supreme Lord in his four-armed Vishnu form. And we will pray to him. He will give us the solution. He will guide us. He will provide his guidance. So, while talking about this Svetadvip, Lord Brahma is saying, even though it is present within this material world, it is not afflicted by all these symptoms and characteristics and qualities of the material world. That Shvetadvip and the ocean of milk and the residence of the Supreme Lord is above and beyond this material world, even though it is present within this material world. How do we understand that? Either say it is present in this material world and has the symptoms of this material world, or say it is not, it is present somewhere. You are confusing us by saying it is present within this material world, but it is not having the qualities and symptoms of the material world. It is contradictory. So, how do we understand that? So, we live in Washington, D.C. A simple example, we have lots of embassies of various different countries. So, we have embassy of India, we have embassy of Nepal, we have embassy of Bangladesh, we have embassy of China, like that. We have so many different, all the countries have their embassies in Washington, D.C. So, we are going to the embassy of India, for example. The moment we step in and we are in the property, that address, wherever that embassy is located, when we are inside there, that embassy is located in USA only. It is in Washington, D.C. The street address is in Washington, D.C. But when we have stepped into the embassy, the rules of Indian government apply there. So same way, we have Shvetpadip within the material world, but the moment we are in Shvetadip, it doesn't have any of the symptoms and qualities of the material world. So that is what is happening here. Okay, now Prabhupada in his purport is drawing our attention to two words, Arindama, and then the second word is Surapriya. So we'll look into that also. Arindama means subduer of all enemies. So we know enemies like other living beings. It might be another human being, or it could be other living beings like lion, tiger, snake, scorpion. So all those things. So we can understand that somebody who is causing us danger. So they are not good for us. But Prabhupada here is drawing our attention to specifically our internal enemies within our bodies. What do we have? We have lusty desires, we have anger, we have greed. So these are qualities that are acting as our enemies. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna clearly points out lust is the main enemy. And just like a good general of the army they not only know their own strengths, they will also know their own weaknesses. They will also know the strengths and weaknesses of the opponent. So similarly, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says lust is the main enemy, and then he says where that lust is located. So he is drawing our attention to that main enemy and say we have to be very cautious about lust. So here Prabhupada is elaborating using that same principle. Not only do we have enemies outside of our bodies, but within our bodies also there are many enemies such as lusty desires, anger, and greed. But Maharaj Parikshit is called Arindama, subduer of not some enemies, no, subduer of all enemies. So that means not only the external enemies he has conquered, he has also conquered his internal enemies like lust, anger, greed, all these bad qualities also. So that is what Prabhupada is drawing our attention to. So in the previous verse number 23, it was mentioned about mode of goodness. Okay, again, coming to Bhagavad Gita, the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us knowledge. For what purpose? So that we can come to bhakti or we can become better in our bhakti. So those last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is knowledge is given doesn't mean that he is talking about jnana yoga. He is giving knowledge, yes, but towards what purpose? To help us move towards bhakti or become better in bhakti. So in those 6 chapters, Krishna talks about Prakriti. Another name of Prakriti is Maya. Another, the English translation for these two words is material energy. It is one of the energy of the Supreme Lord, and it is the energy that is used to create this material universe. So is and once he talks about Prakriti, he says it is made of 3 modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And then he gives so many different activities that we do, and he classifies them into each of these 3 modes and gives the symptoms to identify whether it is in the mode of goodness, whether in the mode of passion, or in the mode of ignorance. And he gives the outcomes also. So basically, he is explaining it, but he is putting the spotlight on the mode of goodness and saying, encouraging us to move towards mode of goodness. That is the bare minimum thing that we have to do. If we are inclined towards spiritual life and we want to show advancement in spiritual life, we need to be in the mode of goodness, bare minimum. Oh, no, 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 I will be in the mode of passion. I would still expect progress in spiritual life or to take up spiritual life. It is not at all possible. Mode of passion and mode of ignorance don't go well with spiritual life. So it has to be mode of goodness. That is the bare minimum. So that is the launching pad from which our spiritual life can grow and even our bhakti can grow. So mode of goodness is needed. If we are filling ourselves with mode of passion and mode of ignorance stuff, then we will be exhibiting those symptoms. What is the symptom of mode of ignorance? Laziness, procrastination, or delaying. We won't even be. We know we have been hearing about many things in bhakti. We have to do this. We have to avoid that. All those things, but we keep putting things off. We keep delaying things, procrastination, delaying, laziness, all those things. Yeah, there is a program happening. Yeah, if I miss it today, there is no problem. Later, I will do it later. Later never comes. Tomorrow never comes. People who are in the mode of goodness will say, oh, there is a bhakti program happening. I will go for it. So that inclination comes because the person is in the mode of goodness. But people who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, oh, I have this to do, I have other things to do, I will do it later. All those things will happen. So that is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving all these things, and we can draw our own conclusions based on the outcome of the mode of passion and the outcome of the mode of ignorance is like really bad. So an intelligent person will immediately conclude, oh, mode of goodness is the better thing. So anything that we see, anything that we hear, anything that we ingest by putting through our mouth, all those things impact our consciousness. So anything that we are drawing in through our senses, is it in the mode of goodness, or is it in the mode of passion, or is it in the mode of ignorance? So that is why that was said in the previous verse. And now in this verse, Brahma is concluding, oh, now we will go to Shvetadip. What is Shvetadip? Oh, it is something located within the material world. Yeah, it is located within the material world, but it is above and beyond the influences of the material world. So we are going there. And then Prabhupada in the purport is pointing out why Parikshit Maharaj is called Arindama, because he has subdued all enemies, both external enemies and internal enemies. So he has conquered his senses and his mind is under his control. So everything that he is doing is in the mode of goodness or above the mode of goodness. That is why Parikshit Maharaj is being called Arindama. And then Prabhupada is drawing our attention to another word, Sura Priya. Sura means demigods. Not only demigods, Sura means one who is following the instructions or the path laid down by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That is what Sura means. Asura means opposite of Sura. Those who are not following the instructions and guidance of the Supreme Lord and his representatives. Those are called Asura. Sura, Asura. Sura are the demigods. Asura are these personalities who do not follow the Vedic scriptures, do not follow the Supreme Personality of God. They'll say, oh, I will do as I please. So we have to be very careful. We want to practice bhakti. We are in the path of bhakti and we claim to be bhaktas, devotees. Are we acting like a sura or are we acting like asura? We might not be powerful like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. Immediately asura means our mind goes there. No, asura means like what are we doing? What is our consciousness? We are delaying, procrastinating. We want to go and talk about rumors and gossip. All these things fall under the category of asuric qualities. But whereas the suras, what do they do? Krishna talks about that in chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita. Whenever my devotees come together, they do not talk about stock market, they do not talk about politics, they do not talk about other people, they talk about me. They talk about my glories. Bodhayantascha parasparam. They talk about me, they talk about my glories, they talk about my glorious activities and enlighten one another. Bodhayantascha parasparam. What is the outcome of doing that? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They derive unlimited spiritual bliss and pleasure. By doing what? By coming together and discussing about my glories, my pastimes, and all this, they derive so much satisfaction and pleasure. That is what Asura does. Whereas a Asura does anything apart from that. So that is what means Asura or Asura. It doesn't mean, oh, the person is born in this family or that family. No. Prahlad Maharaj was born in a Asuric family. but he is considered a Mahajana, not only a devotee, a great devotee, Mahajana, Bali Maharaj. So like that, but Ravana was the son of a Brahmana. But what was his quality? What was his consciousness? He says, "Oh, I am the Supreme Lord. I can do as I please. I will do anything as I please. I will derive more. I will do great austerities and penances and great powers and go and dominate everybody." That is the mind of an asura. So that is why in when Prabhupada is talking about, he is giving the example of Ravana. Yeah, Ravana was yeah, we can say, oh, Ravana was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Why do you call him a Asura? No, he was still not recognizing Vishnu. So that is why, even though Hiranyakashipu was worshipping Lord Brahma to get his powers, but he still was not understanding who the Supreme Lord is. So that is the problem. People think that, oh, I am following Vedic scriptures, I am following Vedic culture, but I take some demigod to be the supreme personality of Godhead, then my understanding is not complete. So I have to approach a person who has proper knowledge and submit to that person, serve that person humbly, and then inquire from that person and receive knowledge. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So that is Krishna's instruction in chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. So we have to follow that process. Then we get the proper knowledge, complete knowledge. Then we understand who is the personality of Godhead. Because we just completed reading Gajendra pastimes before, and then we have come to this chapter. Gajendra was giving all these symptoms, qualities, and saying Paramatma and all those things, but he was not naming the personality. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma did not answer that call. They say, oh, this is not for me. He is not calling me. So only the Supreme Personality of Godhead came in on Garuda and saved Gajendra. So that knowledge, that understanding we need. So that is very, very important. So we have to be very careful. Yeah, there are different levels and different stages as we are growing and advancing in our spiritual path, but we have to see whether we have the complete knowledge. Until then, we are still learning and growing, which is fine. And then Prabhupada is making another important point, right? Krishna accepts. He is not saying you have to be 100% perfected in bhakti, only then I will consider you as my devotee. Rather, Krishna says the opposite. Even if you have started on the path of bhakti and you are in distress, you have material needs, you are inquisitive, or you just want to know about me, these four kinds of people also I consider them my devotees. Chaturvita bhajante mam, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. How liberal and kind and merciful Krishna is. He is not saying you have to be 100% perfected in bhakti, then I will consider your devotee. No, he doesn't say that. We might have material desires. We might want to get relieved from our material distress. Krishna still says, I consider them my devotees. So that is a very, very, very important thing for us because it gives us so much enthusiasm. Oh, Krishna is so liberal, so kind, so merciful. Even if I am on the starting level of bhakti, he is considering me his devotee. Oh, what a great, merciful master I have. So these demigods are like that. They are devotees of the Lord, but they still have material desires. That's why they are in the material world. They are holding the post of the demigod also. So they are in that mixed state, but still they are considered devotees. That's why they are called devas or asuras. Sorry, devas are suras. And asura are the ones who are opposite of demigods. The consciousness, the qualities, and all those things is opposite of that. So that is the main thing that is being talked about in this verse and purport. Um, let's see if let can 25 is, yeah, we will read this verse and then maybe we will speak a little bit on Dashara also, and then we can have our discussion. Okay, text 25. Tatra drishta swarupaya shutapurvaya vai prabhu stutim abruta daivibir girbis tvava itendriyaha. Translation. There at Shvetadvip, Lord Brahma offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though he had never seen the Supreme Lord. Simply because Lord Brahma had heard about the Supreme Personality of Godhead from Vedic literature, with a fixed mind, he offered the Lord prayers as written or approved by Vedic literature. Purport. It is said that when Brahma and the other demigods go to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Shvetadvip, they cannot directly see him, but their prayers are heard by the Lord, and the needful action is taken. This we have seen in many instances. The word Shrutapurvaya is significant. We get experience by directly seeing or by hearing. It is not possible to see someone directly. We can hear about him from authentic sources. Sometimes people ask whether we can show them God. This is ludicrous. It is not necessary for one to see God before he can accept God. Our sensory perception is always incomplete. Therefore, even if we see God, we may not be able to understand Him. When Krishna was on earth, many people saw Him but could not understand that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Avajananti mamoda manushim tanumashritam. Even though the rascals and fools saw Krishna personally, they could not understand that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even upon seeing God personally, one who is unfortunate cannot understand Him. Therefore, we have to hear about God Krishna from the authentic Vedic literature and from persons who understand the Vedic version properly. Even though Brahma had not seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead before, he was confident that the Lord was there in Svetadvip. Thus, he took the opportunity to go there and offer prayers to the Lord. These prayers were not ordinary concocted prayers. Prayers must be approved by Vedic literature as indicated in this verse by the words Daivi Bir Gir Bihi. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we do not allow any song that has not been approved or sung by bona fide devotees. We cannot allow cinema songs to be sung in the temple. We generally sing two songs. One is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is bona fide. It is always mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and it is accepted by the Acharyas. The other, of course, is the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We may also sing the songs of Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Lochan Das Thakur. But these two songs, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, are sufficient to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although we cannot see Him. Seeing the Lord is not as important as appreciating Him from the authentic literature or the authentic statements of authorized persons. Authentic, authorized, so many authentic, authorized things we have to consider. It has to be an authentic, bona fide literature. And whom do we hear from? They have to be authentic, bona fide, authorized personalities coming in the bona fide Guru Parampara. So, all these things are very important. That is what Prabhupada is emphasizing. So, once Brahma and the demigods reached the shores of the Milk Ocean in Svetwadip. What did they do? When we have some problem, we try to solve the problem ourselves, and sometimes we might succeed, sometimes we might not succeed. So when we do not succeed, what do we do? Oh, somebody will say, oh, go to that person. That person might help you resolve this problem for you. So we either go in person to speak with that person, or we pick up our phone and talk to that person. Immediately when we talk, hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, how are you? That, and then we immediately jump to the problem and we discuss the problem because we are so self-centered. Our problem, we want to solve the problem, we want to get rid of that and move on with our life. So that's it. There is no connection with that other person who is trying to help me with the problem, because we are, that is an impersonalistic tendency, and we are very self-centric as well. So we are just focused on I, me, and mine. Oh, my problem, solution, that's it. But when we see Srimad Bhagavatam right from Canto 1, we see Arjuna, we see Uttara, we see Kunti Devi, we see Bhishma Dev, and like that, all through, we are now in 8th canto. Any time and every single time when these personalities are in front of the Supreme Lord, the first thing they do is they offer obeisances and they offer prayers. And in the prayers also, they are not jumping to their request, their problem. Can you please solve this problem for me? First, they glorify the Supreme Lord. They glorify and they do not like speak something not authorized or bona fide. Glorifications as per what they have heard from authentic scriptures, authentic personalities, and based on that, they are in their prayers they glorify the Supreme Lord. And then they describe the position of the Supreme Lord, the various qualities of the Supreme Lord, and all various things that the Supreme Lord has done. So all these glorifications happen. Then they put forward their request. Oh, I am in this delicate situation. I have this issue or a problem, and can you please give me guidance to overcome this situation, or can you provide a path? Then once they hear it, they don't go and do whatever they want to do. Whatever was the guidance provided, they think about it, they meditate on it and say, okay, how can I carry it out to the best of my ability? And they see it through exactly as the guidance was given. So all these things they do. So these things that we can learn from them. So here Lord Brahma is offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. But here it is mentioned in this verse, the Lord Brahma has not seen this form of the Supreme Lord. He has not met this person. He has heard about him. So he knows he is residing in Shvetwadip within this material world, but that is like transcendental. All those things he has heard about it. So he says, okay, let's go there. So he has just heard that the Supreme Lord is residing in one of his forms in Shvetwadip, but he has not met him. He has not seen him in person, but he still has faith just by having heard, the Supreme Lord is living here. So he goes there, and the first thing he is doing is offering, he is fixing his mind on the Supreme Personality, and then he is offering the Lord prayers. He's not just making things up. It says, as written or approved by Vedic literature. So that is what is happening. So we have to be very careful, and we are to be we are following ISKCON. So then that means we are following the standards and guidelines given by Srila Prabhupada, because he is our founder Acharya, and he is not just making things up. Everything that he has given us is bona fide per Vedic scriptures, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like Rupa Goswami and all the other illustrious acharyas. So he always follows in the footsteps of the acharyas and the Guru Parampara, and that's what he has given us. So we have to make our best efforts and to follow those guidelines given by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so now Vijayadasami, Dasara. So let's see something about or let's read and hear something about the glories of Lord Rama. So one particular pastime that I want to highlight. Yeah, it could be like two different pastimes because two different personalities are involved. So Rama, Lakshmana, and Mother Sita, they are in Dandaka forest. And who comes there? Surpanaka, the sister of Ravana. She comes and looks at Rama and says, "Wow, what a beautiful, handsome guy." And looks like that guy is already hanging out with another lady. So she comes. We were just reading about Asuric consciousness and Asuric mentality, and she is steeped in that. So she comes shamelessly in front of Lord Rama and says, "You are so handsome. Who are you? What are you? What is your background?" And she says, I will also give my name and background. I am Surpanaka, the only sister of the mighty Ravana and all those things, and says, I want to marry you. Let's get together, let's have fun. Rama smiles at her and says, I'm already married. This is my wife sitting here. Oh, that's not a problem. I can finish her off and we can eat her meat as well. That's what she says to Rama. And Rama is even more, he finds it even more hilarious and so on. I am not at all interested. In this lifetime, there is only one person that is my wife, and that is Sita. So look at that other person there. He is my brother. He doesn't have his wife here with him, so he is a very qualified, eligible person. Go and talk to him. So, like this, things happen, and finally it escalates to a point where she directly comes and attacks Sita because she knows because of Sita only Lord Rama is not accepting her. So he wants to kill Sita. So at that time, Rama gets very angry and says, Lakshmana, cut off her nose and punish her and send her away. So that's how her nose gets cut off. And she goes crying to Lanka to her brother. And then multiple things happen. Then Rama, what does Shurpanaka do? She is very cunning. She is manipulating Ravana and exploiting the situation to her favor. And says, oh, how can I get Ravana to be on my side? I will increase his lusty desires. So she starts describing about the beauty of Mother Sita. You have many beautiful wives, but none of them compare to this beauty. So she keeps like fueling the lusty desire of Ravana and say, you are the only suitable person for her. So then Ravana starts thinking about, oh, there is such a beautiful lady in this universe. So then that lady should be my wife. So he's already married. She's already married to Rama. Who is this Rama? Who is a normal human being? Let me take care of how can I uh, abduct this lady and make her my wife. So he plots with Maricha and he says, come like a golden deer and hatches a big plan. And then the plan, but Maricha tells, you do not know who this personality is. I know. Rama was a very small boy at that time. he and his brother were coming with Vishwamitra Muni, and he killed my mother, Tataka, and he killed my brother. Only I got spared. He shot an arrow, and I flew and fell on the other side of the earth. And from that point onwards, whenever I look at any tree that resembles the color of Rama's body, it reminds me only of Rama. I am. That's why I gave up all my Asuric activities, and I have taken up doing meditation, and from that point onwards I am feeling more peaceful, and you have come to disturb my peace. I will not agree to this proposal. But Ravana is persuasive and say, if you are not going to do it, I am going to kill you right now. So Maricha thinks, if I do whatever Ravana is proposing, I am going to get killed, but by Rama. If I don't agree to it, I am going to get killed by Ravana. It is better for me to get killed by Rama than by this evil fellow Ravana. So I will agree to his plan. That's how Maricha agrees to that. So he goes, and then he finally gets killed by Rama's arrow, and Ravana comes and abducts Sita. So two things our Acharyas point. When Surpanaka was attracted to the Supreme Lord, she was attracted to him only and not to his spiritual potency, eternal concert, Mother Sita. She wanted Rama without Sita. And Ravana, her brother, did the opposite. He wanted only Sita without Rama. So when we are approaching the Supreme Lord, the Acharyas say we have to surrender to both. We need both their blessings. We need the Supreme Lord, and we also need the blessings of the spiritual potency of the Supreme Lord. That's why always we worship, when we are worshipping Narayan, Lakshmi Devi is there. When we are worshipping Rama, Sita Devi is there. When we are worshipping Krishna, Radharani is there. So we have to approach both of them. We cannot say, oh, I will take only Radharani, I don't want Krishna. Oh, I will take only Krishna, I don't want Radharani. It won't work. So that's the classic example here. Shurpanaka wanted only Ram. She did not want Sita. She wanted to kill her and eat her, so that the obstacle is removed. She wanted only Rama, not Sita. And Ravana wanted only Sita, not Rama. So when we are filled with material lust, mode of passion and mode of ignorance is predominant, mode of goodness is not present, and we think like this, we behave like this, and the outcome is like what Shurpanaka and Ravana got. So Vijayadasami and Dasara celebration is basically just not just like victory of good over evil. It is much more than that. We can pray to Lord Rama and say, oh, I have all these internal enemies, that as Prabhupada was talking about when he was explaining Arindama. We are not only have external enemies, we also have internal enemies, lusty desires, anger, greed in us. We can pray to both Mother Sita and Lord Ram and say, kindly please bestow your mercy and blessings so that all these internal enemies like lusty desires, anger, and greed are totally destroyed, and we truly become victorious. What does it mean we become victorious? Those internal enemies are vanquished? No. After the internal enemies are vanquished, we become clear and fixed that, oh, rendering loving devotional service to Mother Sita and Lord Ram is the only life, is the perfection of my life. That is the actual victory. That is actual Vijayadasami. So that we have to reach that finish line, and we need the blessings and mercy of both Mother Sita and Lord Rama. Okay, let's see if there is any discussion, questions, or comments from what we have discussed today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this nectaring class. so many points. I had the question, Prabhuji, that if you please correct me if I'm wrong, that uh, when Ravan came, he came to take the revenge of Swarupnaka, I thought, because he'd already met Sita Mata when he went to fight, when he went for the Swambar. Is
No,
that not?
at that time he did not meet her. He might have gone there to participate in that, but he did not meet her. But now he is like with all these exotic description of Mother Sita's beauty, his lusty desires have increased. And so, that's why Surpanaka was very cunning and manipulative. If it just say, oh, your sister or got or no, he says, okay, my army got crushed in Dandaka forest, he might go and do something, but he will not go to the full extent of kidnapping Sita. See, she wants Sita to be removed from that equation so that she can pursue her own interest with Lord Rama.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I somehow had this feeling that he went to take revenge for Swarupnaka mostly, you know. So
No,
that was wrong.
Surpanaka knows it's not going. He is not going to be 1000% into it until she gets him hooked.
Right, right. Another, and also, Prabhuji, I do understand, but not fully, is that we do pray to the Lord, and but my thing is that why do we have to praise the Lord all the time? Before we ask for something, we already have that feeling. That's why we have surrendered, and kind of, not fully, at my.
It is a relationship. It is a loving relationship. When we say I love somebody and I look up to somebody, when we are in a problem, we will go and speak to them, right?
Yeah, but we don't praise them, and especially the Lord who's already residing inside us. He knows our feelings, right?
No, you might
So,
know, but where is the relationship? Again, you are talking in terms of impersonalistic tendencies. Oh, he already knows. He already knows. But what is my effort in that relationship?
hmm. And so many times, like, we don't ask because we think God knows what we want.
Yeah, but God provides even without asking many things. But again, where is that personal interaction in that relationship? Are we acting properly in that relationship?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
So,
our children are there. Our children know that they are, as parents, we love them, we take care of them, everything. But when they come and talk to us and say, Happy birthday, mommy, how do we feel?
yeah, but we are in the material body, no? So
No,
we
no,
are
no.
different.
It is not about material body. That is what we are. Again, it is an impersonal tendency. Oh, just because we are in material body, we are feeling that. No, as a spirit soul, also we have feelings
Yes, Prabhuji.
that we forget. And we have a relationship with. And another thing is, by glorifying the Supreme Lord, we actually put it in words how great He is and how tiny we are.
Hmm.
That brings humility to us. We understand we are just like not even a tiny speck in front of the glories of the Supreme Lord. Then when we understand that dynamics clearly, real humility comes in. Oh, how great he is, but still he wants a loving relationship with me, and he is so loving and affectionate to me. Oh my God, what a great personality he is. Truly.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Prabhu, I have a question. This is Sandeep. Prabhu, you said the spirit soul also have feeling, and our own feelings like anger, lust, and greed are suppressing those feelings. How do we get over it? What is the way we can?
Bhakti. We have to get see example given in our scriptures and by our acharyas, right? White light is there, but when you pass that white light through a red glass, what do you see on the other side?
Uh, Red, right?
Yeah, you read. When you pass it through a blue glass, you see it as blue light. But when you remove that colored glass, what do you see? The white
Hmm.
light originally.
Right,
So
right.
same
Correct.
thing, spirit soul has come into this material world and is covered by the material senses and the material body and so on. So whatever is coming through those material senses is just a distorted, perverted thing. But when we remove all these things and purify ourselves, our original self comes through. So for that to happen, we have to practice bhakti. The more we practice bhakti, all these material coverings, material contaminations, all those things covering up are getting removed, and then our original self shines through.
Okay, so if those desires are still coming up, bad desires coming, that means we are not doing enough
Yeah,
to.
that there is some more purification that needs to happen for us to become 100% complete.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
But
So I have.
while during the cleaning process, we have to be careful not to keep putting more dirt. When the cleaning is going on, while keeping on putting more dirt, will the cleaning be done?
That's true. Yeah,
So
that's true.
that is why we have things to do and things not to do. In the sadhana bhakti stage, we have yama and niyama, and we are asked to do certain things. We are asked not to do certain things so that the cleaning process can become more effective, more quicker. Otherwise, if we are not avoiding the don'ts, then we are piling on more impurities while we are doing the cleaning process. So the cleaning process is going to take even more time.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. I have another question, Prabhu. In Bhagavatam, very little is written about Kali Yuga and about all this what we are seeing and we are going to see. Why is that, Prabhu?
No, not very little. There is 11th and 12th canto, it talks more about that in detail. Just reading it, we will have nightmares.
Oh,
It talks in full detail on how the peak of Kali Yuga, how things will be, how degraded it will be. So it
okay.
comes, it gives enough information for us to be watchful about Kali Yuga and quickly finish our business here and get out of here before things become more degraded.
Yeah. So, Prabhu, I would like to know what is going to come before, and then that would help me turn towards bhakti, right? With the next generation, Gen Z, they are not aware of any of these that are coming up. So I don't know why we don't show them. Why don't we tell them about Canto 12, 11 and 12 first? Then they would see, okay, these are the warning signs.
No, but it's like, see, bhakti is not only just out of fear. Bhakti should
Hmm.
be out of love. So that's why
Okay.
if we talk about more things about that will trigger our love for God. Out of fear of Kali Yuga, I want to take up bhakti in one sense, it's a selfish thing to do.
Hmm.
Because we are just, oh wow, Kali is so dreadful. I'm shivering in my boots thinking about Kali Yuga. Those are supplemental things. But the main focus for bhakti is whether we love that person. Out of love, we serve that person. Not out of fear. Oh, if I don't do this, the God will poke my eye, punish me. No, that is not bhakti.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. I think I have put everybody to sleep.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madanat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Dandavat pranam.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class. And I just wanted to add to the question that Prabhuji was saying. Like, I was hearing from Prana Govind Prabhu. He's from Alachua. I think he's a sannyasi, but I don't know. I don't know his other name, but a lot of people know him. He's from Bengal. And like he was mentioning that in connection to your answer, that, Krishna does not need anything. We offer bhoga to Krishna for our own purification. He's only providing only. So a person who's providing us grain, rice, sugar, everything. So basically our we doing the offering to Krishna is our purification. So
Yeah.
similarly, I was thinking that, like and also Sri Prabhupada says that you don't want to see Krishna. You want to know Krishna by hearing. you know our hearing is seeing. So, um, and also the example of Rukmani Devi also comes, right, where she had not seen Krishna, but she had just heard about him, and she wanted to marry Krishna. So yeah, there are so many pramans, so many other this thing in which are there. So Prabhuji, like I don't know whether that helps Prabhuji, but just like we have to do everything for our purification. Basically, that's the idea, because we are here, we are not pure, and whenever you mention in your class about Prahlad Maharaj, that coming from a demon family, and then he became a Mahajan. It is so what do I say? Because most of us are in a situation where we are not having like what do I say, like devotees all around us at home, or even of course workplace we don't have. So the influences are there, but at the same time, when we hear about Prahlad Maharaj, how much he endured, then we feel this is nothing. I mean, it's like I remember one time somebody asking me about Bhagvatam, that which is the character. I only pointed to Prahlad Maharaj. I said, when I hear of Prahlad Maharaj and amount of atrocities and things he went through, it's like, do we go through that like the Pandavas? We don't. But like still Srila Prabhupada has given us the process of purification, which we if we follow, it's like we will benefit. That's about it. Because every time we have to eat, so we are offering. So it's our purification. Krishna is saying, oh, they're offering to me, they're thankful to me. So it's like a son showing gratitude and a son not showing gratitude. So it's obvious that the son who's showing gratitude to the father will be happy. There's no doubt about that. So Prabhuji, one thing is there, like this is a basic question. When we heard about, like, we have these negative things inside us, lust, anger, greed, this, that is there. And even if we hear so many times, still it is there. It is just, anger is still there, comes out once in a while. This thing is, of course, it's less. Because I remember my elder daughter telling me that Mama used to get angry a lot earlier, but now it's become less. So keep doing bhakti. She would tell me. So I'm like, okay, so, but it's still there, like, and is it a point, can we reach a point where it's completely wiped out, or that's my question. Or no, we should not have that expectations from bhakti, that if I'm doing bhakti, that it's going to be wiped out. It will be there in this life, and I just have to bear with it. Like we say, like a mind is an enemy sometimes and does all kinds of things. So if you can highlight something on that, because it's there in the words today. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So lustful desires can be completely wiped out. Anger is, whether we are controlled by anger or whether we are controlling anger are two different things. Hanuman also got angry, but he was not controlled by that anger. use that anger in Rama's service. Anger is indicating that something is not correct. But when we are controlled by our anger, we do not know what we are speaking, what we are doing. That kind of an anger is a strict no-no. But that doesn't mean that like we have to cultivate anger. No, that's not our instruction. That's not the instruction we are given. So we are striving to remove lusty desires. Lusty desires means what? I want to enjoy independently without Krishna. That's what lusty desire means. That's what materialistic desire means. I want Krishna to provide things, but I don't want him. I want to enjoy independently. So that desire should be completely cleaned. That there is no doubt about that. And greed is also an outcome of that thing. So that greed also should. So we there's no harm in thinking that I want to enjoy with Krishna. The example is the residents in Vrindavan, the cowherd boyfriends. What were they doing? When they went to home in the evening, they were thinking only about Krishna. Oh, when will this night end? When can I see Krishna again? I can go with Krishna again. I can play with Krishna again, and I can have fun with Krishna again. They wanted to have fun, but with Krishna. But the materialistic tendency is I want to have fun, but without Krishna. So that is the thing that we want to get cured of. We want to get.
But Prabhuji, excuse my interruption, but if we had a lot around us, we would also do that.
No, then have people like that around us. That is the point.
Devotees.
We don't want to. We want to keep still our asat sangha. But what Rupa Goswami says is asat sangha tyaga. We have to give up all those asat sangha. Oh, we want that. We want this. No. Vrajavasis are very clear. They want only Krishna and Krishna's friends in their life. But we say, oh, I want this, I want that also, I want to go and uh, enjoy without Krishna with all these Asat Sangha. No, that they don't do that. So we have to be very clear. When we have the true desire that I want to be in the association of such devotees, Krishna fulfills that. Krishna provides those devotees in our life so that we can have that enriching, enlivening association in our life. But the starting point is our desire. But if our desire is slightly this way, then Krishna doesn't stand in that way, but he will say, okay, when will we turn our attention back to him and say we want only him and his devotees in our life? So that is a sign of progress. And then you also mentioned about something how to overcome that kind of a tendency like having these materialistic desires and anger and greed. We even after hearing about it, it's not going away. But we have to read and hear about personalities that don't have that. That is very key. Because the Shravanam portion is we have to read and hear such personalities who don't have lusty desires, who don't have anger, who don't have greed, who don't have any of this, or who has positive qualities that we want to cultivate. So we can read, hear, and meditate on that personality a lot. We can even pray to that personality. We can pray to Arjuna. We can pray to Bhishma. We can pray to Kunti Maharani. Like that, we have so many personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam that we can take. Oh, what this personality exemplify? Which quality? That they do not have this negative quality and they have this positive quality that I want to acquire. Let me keep read. See, because when we are reading and hearing and thinking and meditating on that personality, that quality rubs off on us. That is very important because we acquire that quality. from them. And we can pray to them also. We can pray to Prahlad Maharaj. We can pray to Narada Muni. We can pray to Arjuna and say, oh, you are so elevated. So please kindly bless me with your mercy so that I can have even a tiny drop of this quality that you exhibit in full. So that pleases Krishna a lot because we are going to his devotees also and we are offering our obeisances, respects, and prayers to them and say, okay, then Krishna starts decorating us with that quality that we lack.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So, Prabhuji, one thought was coming to while I was doing some work, and that is like maybe it is connected to the class, but I don't know it is not is or not. Like they say that the spiritual world is 2/3 of the world is a spiritual world. Is that true? So that means the spiritual world is bigger than the material world.
Yeah, it's very bigger.
Very bigger. But when we stay on this planet Earth and we see that there are not very many devotees. So that concept, what we face here. So for example, am I supposed to assume that there are more devotees on this, I won't say planet, but because it's a bigger spiritual world is bigger, so there are more devotees, so to say, than non-devotees. So that should encourage us to be the part of that spiritual world, which is 2/3.
See, we are
and not this part of the world.
we are a spiritual
Understand this
being.
concept.
We are a spiritual being.
Hmm.
Krishna makes it
Yes.
very clear in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita itself. He says, we are spiritual in nature. We are Atma, it is spiritual in nature. And what are we doing in an alien world that is material in nature? It is abnormal. So we say, oh, fish has to be in water. When the moment we take the fish out of water, it starts flipping and flopping, and even a tiny bit of water on its body evaporates, then it dies because without water it cannot survive. We are spiritual beings, we need spiritual energy. What are we doing in a world that is made up of material energy? It's dull, inert, it is lifeless. But when we practice bhakti, even in that material world, we get connected to the spiritual energy. We need spiritual energy. We have to be always with the spiritual energy. And that spiritual energy is in the form of Srimati Radharani. How fortunate we are.
Yes.
We can surrender to her and say, okay, with your mercy and blessings, I can get your beloved Krishna. Because without your blessings, without you giving Krishna to me, I cannot access Krishna, I cannot get Krishna. So we have Srimati Radharani, we have Mother Sita to get Rama. So we have so much opportunities. Are we taking use of those opportunities? No, we just keep going, oh, doing the same thing. There's a saying, right? We cannot keep repeating the same mistakes and expecting a different result. That's the sign of foolishness. Are we doing that? Or are we correcting ourselves and say, no, no, I should not. I should correct myself and do the right things so that I make advancement and quick advancement as well.
So we should, our goal should be to go back to Godhead. And actually, like the spiritual world is bigger, so we should join that place which is bigger and doesn't have
So much is happening there. Every minute there is a festival and party going on there with Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Why am I depriving myself of that? I should be partying with Krishna and Krishna's devotees
Yeah, good
non-stop.
morning. Please come. Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji. I had somebody on the door. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your association, your positive answers. And I like the previous answer that we have to have desires connected to Krishna. Everything connected to Krishna. That is going to make it, we will loosen up on our negative qualities.
And we will tighten up on our personal relationship with Krishna.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for association. Madhanat pranam to you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. I just wanted to appreciate every single word you said today. I'm gonna listen to this class again, and I was just relating. I was thinking about this last evening. Like, we had an invitation for Navaratri Puja, and the person who invited us, she said, "ISKCON devotees are coming from Richmond. You should come." So we went there, and Prabhu, there was chanting, and there was Aarti. He did the Aarti. So we can see, like, I could see a wall between, like, devotees and non devotees, their consciousness. And it was the moment all these devotees left, it was like the place was deserted, Prabhu. So I'm so grateful for everything, for Prabhupada, and for every single speaker, for every single word, and all the guidance that we are receiving. I just wanted to appreciate it. Just pray for me, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. A grateful heart is the main ingredient for making advancement in bhakti, because we think that, yeah, we just got, somebody blessed us with this. Somebody blessed us with bhakti. Somebody blessed us with devotees in our life. Somebody blessed us with a guru in our life. So, like that, all these are because of, not because I worked hard and earned it by myself, but we deep inside we have that materialistic tendency, some of us, and and when we have that tendency, we are not grateful. We are not grateful to people who have blessed us with so many things. Oh, what is the necessity for that person to accept me as a disciple and give me spiritual initiation? There's no obligation, but that person is doing out of his costless mercy. Then I was a recipient of that. So how much I should do in return in service to that person? That is gratitude. So when we have that gratitude in our heart, then we make a rapid advancement in bhakti.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectar class, and especially on the Sera day, and all this question answer session. Anybody has any question or comment? Yeah, so
Surinder
Prabhuji,
Prabhu
I
has
would
something.
like.
No, Prabhuji, I don't have anything on that one. Only that is this is a very nectar class and all, and I really enjoyed. That's all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So a special thank you to Raghunandan Prabhu, His Grace Raghunandan Prabhu. Yesterday night, today's class was actually scheduled for Amrit Madhvi Mataji, but she got some emergency. And at 10:35 night, I messaged Prabhuji that would we be able to give class, and he immediately said yes. So, we are so grateful to you, Prabhuji. You're always there for us and explaining so
Haribo,
nicely about
Haribo.
this.
Mataji, Hari Bol to Prabhuji 3 times. Hari Bol.
Yes, Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari
bol,
Bol.
Hari bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol.
bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Raghunandan Prabhu, for your association.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. And Mataji, I wanted to ask you if we can have a session on Chandi sometime later, because Navratri, 9 Devis, all different forms. I don't know if others want to know, but I definitely don't have much idea about that.
Okay, sure, Mataji. I will talk to Prabhuji.
Yeah.
And we can schedule someday. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, all devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai.
Jai,
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 की जय
Jai,
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री
Jai,
प्रभुपाद की
Jai,
जय
Jai,
श्री
Jai,
कृष्ण
Jai.
Jai,
रघुनंदन दास प्रभु की
Ki
जय
Jai.
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 Amrita
Hare
Mataji ki
Krishna.
jai
Hare
for
Krishna.
arranging
Happy
classes.
Dasera to all
Hari
devotees.
bol.
Jai. Thank you,
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Prabhuji.
Bol.
Hare
Hari
Thank you
bol.
Krishna.
everyone for
Happy
joining.
Dussehra.
And everyone, see you on Saturday for the Shera festival. We are celebrating at ISKCON temple. So please come who are in this area and
Thank
bring
you.
your friends too. So we will
What
be
time?
having Nice
What
drama. So it's
What
four,
time?
4 to 6, Prabhuji. 4 to 6. So it will be a very nice drama and Ravan Dahan also. So please bring your friends and families and kids.
Jai Shri Ram, Hari
Jai
Bol.
Shri Ram,
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Ram.
Jai Shri
Special
Ram.
announcement that our Padmini Radha, part of our member is Padmini Radha and Adi Govinda Das Prabhu. They are participating in that drama. So we are excited
Wonderful.
to see them as a Ram and Shurpankha. No, sorry, Manthara.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Yes. So please come, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Also, Mataji, I'm just requesting devotees to join, the chanting from 5 to 7. It'll be very nice if everybody can join. Only 9 participants are there right now.
Yes.
Make the announcement so more can join, and we'll be motivated to, because 5 to 7 is a good time to finish your rounds.
Yeah.
Sure, Mataji.
Although, Yugal Prabhushwar Prabhuji said the exact time is 4 to 6.
Yes.
That's Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Nice to
Krishna.
see
Thank
you,
you,
Shama
Prabhu.
Mataji. Nice
Thank
to
you,
see you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you, Chitra Mataji, and your daughter.
Thank you, Chitra Mataji, and
Hari Bol, Radhika.
Nice to see you, Rachna Mataji. Hari Bol.
I love to her, so sweet.
हाँ वो भी हरी बोल करती है, दोनों हाथ ऊपर करके सिखाया उसको.
Hari Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Radhika.
हरी बोल, हरी बोल. जय
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
हरी बोल.